Hey guys, welcome to our channel. I know it's been probably a while since I've done a video, and I kind of wanted to give a little bit of a life update before continuing on with like further content. I kind of want to let you know where I've been. So the last video that you guys saw was actually of me talking about our the miscarriage that we had. And so, you know, it took a little bit of time to physically heal from that. For those of you who don't know or haven't watched that video, we had a miscarriage in December, 2 days after Christmas. And yeah, that was really hard emotionally, physically. So I kind of felt like I needed to take a little bit of a break from, you know, doing YouTube. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot. And honestly, it didn't really feel very creative. I just kind of wanted to heal and focus on my church and, well, focus on my family and focus on church. And so also the beginning of the year is always very stressful because there's a lot of planning that needs to get done, and so I didn't really have too much time. So we kind of jump into January. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on with organization. It's, you know, December, January is usually the very busiest part, one of the busiest parts of the year for me as an administrative pastor. And so not only that, but then everyone in the house pretty much got sick with the flu, and this is in January. And kind of after that, after everyone kind of got done being sick, then February rolls around, and then I get sick again with a cold. And it just kind of felt like everything in my house kind of got, you know, out of control because everyone had been sick, and then I got sick again. And so that's kind of how December went. February went. And so January sick, February was sick, and then I kind of spent February kind of like putting everything back together because, like I said, everything got out of control. Like my cupboards was like spilling out, like just things were in places where they weren't supposed to be, which is okay when, you know, like life happens. I actually have a video about what to do after, you know, life happens. So that's basically what I was doing. I was just like organizing my life, putting everything in order, decluttering some stuff. And then my husband at the end of the month left to California to go minister. And so he was out there doing that. So a lot of, you know, church stuff fell on me, house stuff fell on me. And then shortly after that, I left to go minister in California. I took my daughter to spend time with my mom, and I went out to a women's retreat or camp, depending on how, what you guys call it. And so I spent my time in California ministering. I preached in a couple of churches, and I ministered at that women's retreat and got to spend a little bit of time with my family and got to catch up with a few friends. It was kind of hard because I was preparing for, you know, preachings and conferences and stuff. I had done a little bit ahead of time, but it was kind of difficult with my daughter being home. Because, you know, when she's home all day, she wants like my full attention. And so it's kind of hard to prep everything I needed for the trip to go to California. So I knew that I was going to have to do some prep. So I didn't have very many days because I was either preaching and ministering, or I was prepping to preach or teach. So, you know, I did, thank God, got to spend time with my family. I got to spend time with my mom, my sister, my friends. And I had a really good time. And so in the midst of me being in California, you know, I had, before going to California, you know, the whole COVID-19 pandemic kind of, you know, starting to come out, but it wasn't very like where, they're shutting down things, that, we had to practice social distancing, and none of that when I first went over there. And so everything was starting to happen while I was out there, and it was crazy to go to the stores and not find anything. And I was trying to help my mom out while I was there, and there wasn't a lot of stuff. People were starting to kind of like freak out. Even when I was on the plane, when my flight over there wasn't that many people on the plane, and there was even less people on the plane on my way back from California. And so literally there was 25 people on my flight, and they separated us. We had to be 6 rows away from each other on opposite sides. So it'd be you would sit here, 6 rows, someone else would sit here, 6 rows, someone else would sit there. So they weren't really letting us be near each other. And then they also told us to, that they left a little hand sanitizing thing on in the bathroom. So they told us that if we were gonna use the restroom, to sanitize everything. And so that was interesting to come home. And basically I come home right before California is completely shut down and people aren't allowed to go to church or anything. So literally I ministered, and then all the churches closed down. The majority of churches closed down. Some stayed open. And so so I came back thinking, when I started my trip, I was like, oh, I can't wait to go back home. I want to kind of get back in my routine. I feel like ever since 2020 started, I haven't been able to fall into my routine. And anyone who knows me knows that when I get off my routine, I get really stressed, I get overwhelmed, and I don't know, what to do. But thankfully, I haven't felt too crazy stressed. I am tired from my trip. I haven't really fully recovered from my trip. I'm not sick or anything, but basically, it's been tiring to come home after ministering for 12 days, and then having to come home and basically have to deal with, have to be in meetings, have to support my husband as he's going off, and making decisions together with our leadership team. And it's been kind of crazy. So it's been interesting. 2020 has been an interesting year. In the midst of that, we're also have we lost someone in our congregation, not due to the virus, just due to something else. And we have a couple of people in the hospitals right now, and it's difficult because they're not letting us in to see them, which is completely understandable. And so things have gotten a little crazy, and so now we're all quarantined into our homes, and so that's interesting. I thought I was gonna get back into my normal routine, and actually I've been pushed into a different routine. My daughter's school has been closed down, so she's here with us, so she has an extra long break. So we're just kind of working around, trying to do everyday normal life. We're trying to do a few things with the church to keep the church motivated. We're doing daily videos of motivation for our congregation and our congregation chat. We're doing videos, on, we're going to be streaming our services online, which we've been doing, but the congregation won't actually be in the church. They'll be watching from their homes so that they're safe. So there's been a lot. There's been a lot going on, and I just hope that you guys, now that we have the opportunity, even though we're home, it's been really busy. Pastor life is not easy during this time. there's a lot of needs. We have to make sure that everyone is safe. We have to make sure that everyone has the materials that they need, you know, and kind of, you know, just being there for one another and make sure we're motivating, because, you know, everyone's kind of confined to their home unless they necessarily have to go out. So, you know, we're all just trying to find our like routines, trying to keep our children, you know, occupied. And, you know, it's been crazy, but at least now I'll be able to start filming some videos. And so this is kind of the start of the videos that I'm gonna be doing. I'm so thankful to my husband, who has been rocking it. He's been rocking these videos. You haven't seen me at all in any of the videos, but I'm so happy with the content that he's putting out. And you know, I'm excited because I do have a few ideas of topics I want to talk about. And so with all this is pretty much my life update. I was sick for a while. My husband went to Cali. I went to Cali. Came back to a COVID, a COVID pandemic, and restricted. Basically, I have to stay in my house. Like, so that's kind of like the whole gist of everything. But I know that, you know, God does everything for a reason, and I'm not, you know, I'm not complaining at all. Like, I'm just, you know, looking forward to this being over, and, you know, getting back to our normal routines and going back to church. I miss my church. I haven't been to church, like I haven't been to my church in half a month, and I come back and I'm excited to like go to church, go to my church, and I can't now. I'm forced to stay at home. So, you know, I want to hug everyone and I miss everybody, and I can't obviously do that right now because that's, you know, not really allowed and not safe. So anyways, this video has been long enough, so I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.